Usual trend to see things blow up on LinkedIn, especially when there's a new feature launched, when the whole internet goes crazy about stuff, but then eventually fades down in a day or two. Now, it's typically a best idea to go ahead and make content or keep making content when it launched, of course, or when the new feature is launched. But to keep pursuing, because over the first few days, you get a lot of insights, a lot of people share a lot of creative insights. But without stopping after that, if you let those creative inputs sink in, and then if you start putting your own style to it, you start coming up with new ideas sometimes. Now, one such idea is where I decided that I'm going to try the Ghibli art or the Ghibli studio art for some iconic scenes from movies over the years. And I thought, why not compare it with something like Grok? With Grok, it would be an interesting idea because Grok doesn't really have a limit on the number of image generation capabilities, the number of images that you can generate, unlike ChatGPT free account. Then I thought maybe I shouldn't compare apples and oranges. So how about comparing both on premium accounts, which means I'm going to use a ChatGPT paid $20 subscription, and I'm going to compare that with the results that I see on Grok, SuperGrok rather, not just the Grok regular account, the free account that's available to everybody. So I went ahead, made a prompt. So this is the prompt that I made. So this is the prompt that I had generated. Transform this image into a Studio Ghibli style scene. Use soft painterly brush strokes and dreamy lighting. Retain the core composition, main subjects, blah blah blah. My neighbor, Toro spirited away, or all whatever. Right. So I'm giving enough context for the tool to understand. So now let me upload the image that I have. So what I have done here is I have picked up some iconic scenes from movies. I still have a decent amount of doubt that ChatGPT will not be generating this because of copyright issues, because that's what happens when I asked it to rewrite a movie story. So let's see if this works. Okay, this is working fine. So let's go to SuperGrok in the meantime. Let's do the same thing. Let's upload the reference image to see, because it's a good idea to compare what happens when you see things across different platforms. If I use the same style across two different premium subscriptions of LLMs, one is ChatGPT and the other one is Grok with a paid subscription, let's see what the output turns out to be, because that'll give you some insight that you can use at some point in time. You never know where it comes handy, right? So let this load. Let's give it a few minutes. I have about 5 images that I had downloaded just to compare it. All iconic scenes from movies. So hopefully it should have some sort of difference. Otherwise it'll be such a bummer because you need to see difference. Okay, this is Pulp Fiction. Not bad at all. Not completely accurate as well. You can always regenerate it. Do we want this in the background is something that I'm not sure. Let's see, because it went, I think it went ahead and considered this to make sure it made it a little dreamy. Lush greenery, warm light and magical atmosphere. Why would I need this? I wouldn't need that, right? So maybe I should change the prompt. So let's go back here and say, okay, include lush greenery, warm light and magical atmosphere is not something needed. Stylized characters with expressive eyes and subtle facial features, staying true to the gentle tone of, okay, this is not needed. So I'm just going to say staying to the gentle cozy tone of Ghibli art. Make sure you retain the originality of the reference image shared in the art you generate, right? So that's, I'm going to leave at that. I'm just going to upload a new image now. Let's move on to Grok. Is much faster than what was possible on ChatGPT. So I have uploaded a classic Clint Eastwood picture to go ahead and make a Ghibli studio style art of it. So I'm just going to say share. Let's see if ChatGPT is done. ChatGPT is much slower compared to what happens on Grok, right? So if time is of the essence, then you know what to do. So I'm just keeping this ready just in case. Okay, Clint Eastwood again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is what Grok is able to generate. Okay, this is hardly the Clint Eastwood classic. The classic Clint Eastwood beard is missing. The cowboy look is missing. This looks more like a chocolate boy. Let's see what happens if I regenerate it, since we have time, right? So we're done with 2 images on SuperGrok while ChatGPT is still loading. Okay. Nice. Nice. So this retained the aesthetics of the original image. Look at the facial features, right? So I think this is more accurate compared to what SuperGrok was able to give me. So SuperGrok retained majority of the aesthetics, but then the mustache and the beard were. But I think ChatGPT has done an amazing job. So let's try what happens if we do it with Clint Eastwood. I know it's going to take a lot of time, but let's see what happens. So this is the new Clint Eastwood according to. Has it changed anything? Not much. Right? So Grok is much faster, but the accuracy is not as good as compared to ChatGPT. So let's try it one more time. One more thing. Let's say one more image. Retain the originality. Right? And then I'm going to upload another classic scene from Titanic. Okay. Upload it. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, let's say one more image. Try the same thing. And I'm just uploading Titanic. Okay, I'm just keeping it ready by the time Clint Eastwood comes up. Okay, this is Clint Eastwood. No response. Come on. Try and generate the image. Okay, it's looking at the past attachments. Let's see if this comes up. Alright, so this is our Clint Eastwood. Are we close? Very nice. So I think accuracy is a big part of it. Not dreaming up or taking the creative liberty that is not required when you're trying to generate these kind of images is something that ChatGPT excels. So agreed, Grok is faster. With SuperGrok it may be much faster. The images are of good quality, no doubt, but then think about it, there is no relevance to the reference that you have given. There is no authenticity to that. Okay, this is weird. This is not something that I had given, right? So let's go ahead and try copy pasting the same prompt. Maybe that's the issue. And then add an attachment. And let's give the Titanic image a reference. So let's go ahead and see what happens with this. Now this is very accurate. I am impressed with what ChatGPT is able to do compared to what Grok is making it possible. Everything else is good in Grok. I am completely in agreement. But then the facial features, I think, is a big giveaway, right? Because that's what is more important most of the times. So we have uploaded the we have uploaded the Titanic with the attachment. And prompting is also much easier on ChatGPT. You don't have to give the same prompt again and again. So let's see if that works out again. Let's go back to Grok. How is Titanic? Titanic is already sinking even before Jack and Rose fell in love. The Titanic is sinking here, which is not very accurate representation of this. Right? So it's taking just a few elements and then recreating something with all the creative liberties, with all the creative liberty possible. But ChatGPT, I'm sure, will surprise us with how close to the reference image that it can go ahead and generate what we're looking at. So let's hold on for a few minutes. Moment of truth, and something that we can go ahead and concretely say when it comes to image generation using the Ghibli studio style. We can finally give a conclusion and say who is the winner, right? So we're almost there. So let's just give it a few seconds. Jack and Rose from the iconic Titanic. Brilliant. I think I'm already impressed. So basically, if you're using SuperGrok or ChatGPT paid subscription, if you want to go ahead and get something done very close to a reference that you have in mind, I think ChatGPT takes the cake. There is no two ways about it. And I'm not even going to try it with other tools. But let's say if we have no reference, and then we had to try something where it had to imagine and generate images from scratch. So it had no reference images. It can go ahead and do whatever it wants, right? In those cases, pure image generation wise, let's see what happens. Generate an image here. Okay. So I'm just going to say this, and I'm just going to try the same prompt on my ChatGPT with no reference images. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is super quick. Timing wise, I think SuperGrok is a winner, is a clear winner. If you have a storyboard to be made quickly and get going with things, I think Grok takes away the cake. Okay, so this is the dreamt up scenario. It has gone ahead and taken this into consideration. Not very different from what it had given us in the past. So I think with or without reference, ChatGPT is still giving you the same thing, while Grok is able to think a little different. So basically, you can keep good option to try. If you have references of images that you would want to generate, then ChatGPT is a clear winner. But if you don't have any reference, if you want to go ahead and start something from scratch, then probably Grok, because it's good, it's imaginative, it's creative, and it's also very quick. So basically, you know who is a clear winner in terms of image generation capabilities between ChatGPT versus Grok AI. So that's about it. See you in the next session. Until then, my name is Casey, signing off. Ciao. And this is AI Sassy.